You know who my next guest is? The style bender himself, Israel Adesanya, is going to be taking on Derek Brunson at UFC 230 on November 3rd. Israel, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm gravy, bro. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to talk to you again. And you've been a busy guy. I know we were talking off air. You're doing a little bit of promo work earlier today. How was that today?
Oh, very good. I went to Sydney just yesterday for a day. As soon as I hit the hotel, the UFC staff came and got me, and then we were on the go for about maybe a few hours till from 11 till about 5, 6 p.m. So good day of promo. But I've got fight week as well coming up, so it's a good little warm up for that.
How do you balance all that when you have training and other obligations and you still have to, run around like that? How do you manage all that?
Experience. Also being multifaceted, if you will. This is part of the game. You have to be able to multitask and do things juggle so many things, if you will, like a clown, circus clown. So we're in the big circus now, so I got to learn how to adapt.
One of the cool things after your last fight, I saw you were on the Joe Rogan Experience. How was that getting to be on one of the biggest shows around?
For me personally, it was cool because when I think that was the first podcast I started listening to, but now I've got a few other ones, but when I was working in an office in a cubicle and it was just mundane tasks I had to do, I always had Joe and Brian Redband in my ear talking shit with different guests, so it kind of kept me entertained through the day, kept me from going postal on that bitch. But it was kind of cool to finally be on the show itself and then just speak my story, kind of talk some shit and shoot the shit with Joe Rogan. Yeah, it was cool.
I was going to say, were you nervous at all? It didn't look like it, but I know obviously you're a big fan of the show, so were there any nerves going in there?
Not really. I think that was probably the third or fourth time I've met Joe. So after the second time, it was kind of like just first name basis type thing. It kind of takes the glare off, but it was still cool. You kind of check in like, oh shit, I'm on the JRE, I'm on the Joe Rogan Experience. So it's part of the gig now. So I belong there. I belong at the top with the rest of them.
One of Joe's good friends is someone I know you had a little bit of a beef with, Brendan Schaub. Is that whole thing squashed now, or did you guys talk it out at all?
I don't really have anything against the guy. I don't really have anything for the guy. He was just, I think it was a little bit salty. It was a little bit salty about my meme I made about him years ago. So the way he addressed the whole situation on his podcast kind of made me not really a fan anymore. So after that, I kind of it was too much for me. But I'm over it now anyways. I'm on to bigger and better things.
And let's talk about bigger and better things. This card in New York, first time fighting in New York in your career. How excited were you when you found out you were on this card?
For me, it was like, Madison Square Garden. I know it's in New York, and I know there's state taxes. I keep hearing. I don't know how much it is yet, and I'm not really a big fan of that. But to say I fought at Madison Square Garden, I'm willing to do it once and maybe twice. I can headline it later on. But I'm happy. I think it's gonna be history. It's cool to have. After all the like for years, MMA was illegal in New York, illegal, and all they had at MSG was boxing, and boxing's been there for years. I'm pretty sure over 100 years. So it's cool to have the future of combat sports being able to progress now in MSG, so we can have more UFC events and stop worrying about trying to get fighters to go to boxing and make those big dollars. We're gonna bring that to the UFC.
And there's been a lot of changes on this card, starting with the main event, and then obviously with recently Luke Rockhold being off this card. Were you ever offered a fight with Chris Weidman, even though it might have broken up your fight?
Nah, for me, I'm already focused on Derek Brunson, so that was me. And I think they made the right choice putting Souza in there. I don't think they fought before, so that's going to be a good fight. But I'm focused on my fight. I don't really care about what he's doing or anyone else is doing. I'm just focused on me at the moment. So, after this fight, we'll see what happens. I might go for the strap, but I don't know. Might have to eliminate one of them before I get the strap, but we'll see.
And let's talk about what's ahead of you. Derek Brunson, good wrestler, good striker. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Okay, wrestler, shit striker. Let's be honest. But it still makes him dangerous because he's clumsy. He's like a nunchuck. When you use a nunchuck as a weapon, when you strike with it, there's a moment where it's out of place, it's out of control, and then you have to regain control. he's a kind of fighter like that. He's like a ball and chain with his fists. He just throws it flailingly, and that makes him dangerous. But the way he runs at you, the way he attacks, makes him very, very, very susceptible to my counter striking. So, yeah, I can't wait to clean that chin off the platter.
In training camp, have you just kept things business as usual, training with the same camp, Dan Hooker, all your great training partners?
Definitely. I mean, we keep that same energy. So for me, we keep evolving, and that's the same energy we're on. Keep evolving no matter what. Because I mean, like, there's been so many pullouts in this card. He could have pulled out as well. So I just keep focusing on me, and we've only spent about 35% of the camp around what he's gonna do and little tactics that we can use to dismantle him. But it's just another day in the office, man.
And how's the weight cut going? Again, you got to travel and all that. Nothing new for you, I'm sure, but how's all that going?
Easy work. I mean, this ain't my first rodeo, so it's light work as always. I'm a professional, and yeah, I'm just gonna get the weight down as I always do. I've never missed weight. I don't plan on starting to do that now. I'm not one of these guys who try and fight at welterweight or whatever, so I can be the biggest in my weight class. I just try and feel good, feel fast, feel fit, and yeah, I feel great right now. I could have fought 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, but I've had so much time to get better. So yeah, he's fucked.
And how do you see this fight playing out on November 3rd?
It's 3 ways I'm gonna win: round 1 stoppage, round 2 stoppage, or submission. Those are my 3 options, and he can choose wisely. But yeah, I've just played this out in my head, and those are the 3 ways I can see myself winning. But I don't. I really want to make it to round 2 KO. I want to see his face after the first round. I've said this in other interviews. I really want to look at his face and look in his eyes, so he can realize, shit, I done fucked up. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna get past the first round. But if he does, kudos to him. And if he makes it through the whole fight, fuck. Wow, I don't think so. I mean, look at the styles. Look at the way I strike. Look at the way I handle guys. In my last fight, they said, "Oh, Brad Tavares is too much. It's too soon." And I think he can even beat Derek Brunson. So yeah, I'm not worried. I just focus on myself. I play the game right. Dot my I's, cross my T's, and this is my fight.
You mentioned it earlier. If you get an impressive win here, especially another finish, do you feel like the title shot is next, or do you feel like you might have to go through one more person?
Depends how I want. I mean, depends. I have the options right now. I'm the guy with the buffet in front of him. So I don't know. Depends. Maybe we'll see how the other middleweight fights go on the card. I'll see if what's his name, Bobby Knuckles, can get past Kelvin. And yeah, but I'm the guy right now that the UFC is looking at as a next cash cow, if you will. So definitely I can pick and choose. And I want to drag Bobby Knuckles over here to Spark Arena and then take that belt off him if he can get past Kelvin.
I like it. Last question before we let you go. We had some big news this week. It's not official yet, but it sounds like the UFC is trading Demetrius Johnson to ONE FC for Ben Askren. Your thoughts on that?
I like this. For me, it's historic in MMA because it kind of reminds me of how they have trades in basketball. I know that happens, or football and whatnot. And it's going to change the game. It's definitely going to change the game. Trading players and trading guys, yeah, I like that. I like that for MMA. I think it's the future of the sport, being able to trade and get different talents in the game. And also, Demetrius he's the longest reigning champion in the UFC. So he's done what he's done. He's already beat Henry Cejudo, and Henry Cejudo beat him. He's not far from done. He's going to go to ONE FC, clean that place out as well, make so much money, and then probably come back to the UFC. And if Cejudo's still the champion, probably next year, not next year, 2020, I say 2020, he might come back to the UFC, trade back with someone else, and then take the belt again and maybe retire. I don't know. But yeah, I like that. I really like that for MMA. I think it's going to change the game. It's a beautiful thing. I'm happy to be involved in this era of MMA.
If Askren ever moved up to 85, is that a fight that would ever interest you?
Probably. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can fight at 85, but yeah, I see him talking with these welterweights on Twitter. It's pretty funny to watch because it's kind of true. It's kind of like me when I came in the UFC. Lord Voldemort, he who shall not be named. So he's saying the same thing. No one's mentioning his name. So yeah, stick with the welterweights first, and then if you want to come up, I can serve him.
Israel, always a pleasure, man. Always enjoy chatting with you. I know you got a lot of stuff to do today. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any thank yous or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out to Engage, Fightwear. You know, those are guys always looking after me, keeping me dripped up properly. Oh, actually, I probably got them on right now. Bang, right there. And who else? Stain Skin Tattoos. They're always, discoloration of my skin. I love it. And yeah, I mean, thanks to my team at City Kickboxing, they already know that. And catch me on social media, each platform at Stylebender, one word. Yeah, so you're the man.